I thank you for this day, and I thank you to give, and I thank you for our teacher and our parents, and lead us, God, into our ways. In the name of the Father, I've prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Solomon, for leading us through the opening prayer. This is primal 2.
The meaning too.
And we are going to learn literacy. Are we together? Literacy 2. Okay. So we've been waiting for some friends to join us. And I think we can start now. We have a good number. Yeah, I can see 47 members already have joined, and it's 2 minutes past 9. So we can start off with our lesson. My name is Teacher Joel. I know it's your first time to see me. I'm one of the teachers, so I'm standing in to help Teacher Rollins, who is handling another class. So feel free to share with me in today's lesson. I think we are going to like it, okay? So to start off, I'm going to share my screen with you, right? And then we shall get started. Is that clear? Yeah, this is primal 2, literacy 2. It's what we are learning at this time. So allow me share my screen. Are you seeing my screen? Members, I can't hear you. Are you there? Hello, learners.
Yes, Joel, we can hear you.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah, I always want to hear from you so that I get to know that we are moving together. Okay? Yeah. So, are you seeing my screen?
Screen. We can see your screen.
Oh, you can see. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. As I told you, it's time for primal 2, literacy 2. Today is Monday, 9th August, 2021. And this lesson is to be conducted by Teacher Joel Maluma. So let us start off, since we are already in our time. As usual, our e-learning program is supported by 3 organizations. As you can see, we have number 1, which is Edify. Edify Uganda is the organization funding this program. Then it works with the other 2 organizations. We've got Christian School Owners Association Uganda, and then we have ICT Teachers Association of Uganda. Those are the 3 organizations that are supporting this program. Last time we had the literacy 2, we were given activity by Teacher Rollins, And I want us to start from there. We first make correction in that activity. Then we shall look at something new, which I prepared for you today. May we first get to the activity and we make correction. As we can see, question number 1 was, what is culture? Okay, what is culture? And the correction is, culture is the acceptable way of behaving in a community. If you failed number 1, let's make correction and write the correct answer by saying culture is the acceptable way of behaving in a community. Let's write that one. Then if you failed number 2, we can get there also. Write the correct answers for number 2. The question was, give 2 examples of culture in your community. 2 examples of culture in your community. So 1, we can talk of language. I named it A. Another example of culture is dressing. C, food. D, we have dances. So if you failed number 2, those are the examples of culture in our community. The question wanted 2, but I decided to give you 4 to have a variety. Then number 3, state 2 importances of culture in your community. State 2 importances of culture community. So there we are. Culture develops discipline. And B, culture creates among. So let's first do correction. Number 4, we had to draw. You had to draw yourself greeting elders. So that one, you can get someone to help you if you cannot. So that's part of the work that we had last time, and that's the correction. So after that, I'm giving you like 2 minutes, then we look at something new. Yeah, I have given you a few minutes to finish correction, then we continue.
This was here. Here? Right here. Oh, here? Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I was also thinking. Okay. That maybe we are going to turn it the other side so that the first is in there, then we put the things
Are
there.
we through?
Yeah. Possible. I think, but I have to wait maybe for Washa to come because I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I think they both come together.
Oh, yeah. Here's
So-
the proof.
Yeah, so let me just wait for what was I clear other things.
Okay.
And then maybe by the end of the day, finalize that.
Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
Somehow forgot my computer. Oh, you forgot it home? Yeah, I brought all my books back, but I left my computer, so. Thank you very much.
Teacher finished.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Some of you have unmuted. I request you mute so that you don't get that background sound. Okay. All right. So I want us to continue. The screen clear? Oh, is the screen clear?
Joel, we can't see the screen.
You can see.
But there's
Okay.
the Zoom app that is open.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to see how I can read.
Just go to the presentation down on the taskbar. Yes,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, is it okay now?
Yes, it is okay.
All right. Yeah, let me try to zoom it up. Okay, members, time for correction is over. Let's get into today's lesson, right? Yeah, the theme for today's lesson, we are still looking at our home and community. Then sub-theme is cultural values and the practices. Are we there, P2 members? Remember, this is primary 2, literacy 2, okay? So we are to look at cultural values and the practices. That is our sub-theme. Then before we get there, let's look at lesson competencies, okay? Lesson competencies. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to, learners, this is what I want you to be able to do by the end of today's lesson. 1, mention at least 3 examples of cultural practices. Are we there? Mention at least 3 examples of cultural practices. Number 2, give at least 3 examples of cultural practices. These are the things we are going to learn. And by the end of this lesson, at least you should be able to talk about the things that we are looking at, the competencies. Okay, then the third competence, name some cultural foods in Uganda. So that's what I expect you to do by the end of this lesson, okay? Now, members, let's get there. Today, as we are in literacy 2, we shall have some work written down. So I request you now, we are going to put a few things down, then we continue. So I request you open your book, first write the subject, that's literacy 2. Today is Monday, 9th August 2021. Let's write date also and underline it. Then write your name, okay? Write your name. Members, I think you're writing. After writing your name, write the sub heading. I can hear an echo. Someone, you must have unmuted your microphone. Okay, now it's fine, right? Cultural practices, which we are going to look at. So let's write. I'm giving you a few minutes, like 2, to finish writing this. Then I hear from you. Someone, you are going to tell us more about cultural practices. According to you, is this word new? These are some of the things we've been looking at. So I would like to hear from you. Actually, to start with, is the first word, culture. Okay, here is culture, but let's first go back to culture. So I would like to hear from you. Someone, once you finish writing, raise your arm up. You tell us what culture is. Okay. Yes, Pendo. Pendo, I can see your hand up. May you please?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Pendo, tell us, what is culture?
Culture is the acceptable way of behaving in the community.
Wow, that's good. Thank you, Pendo. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can now lower your hand and mute yourself. So, members, let us continue. Pendo has just told us that culture is the acceptable way of behaving in a community. Let's get back to the work. Something went wrong here.
Try to reshare, or you check at the taskbar, you will find that work in the PowerPoint.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I've got it. Okay, members. Okay. Yeah, let's continue. Now we close books. Let's close our books and we continue now. Okay, so culture is the acceptable way of behaving in a community. Now, when we talk about the cultural practices, we mean different things we do according to our culture, okay? We mean different things we do according to our culture. That's what we mean by cultural practices. So we need to get there and then we look at the different cultural practices. Okay. We need to get there. I'm trying to sort something here. Sorry for the break, but we are soon going to continue, okay? All right, we are there. So members, let's now continue. I've managed to sort it out. So we have said that the culture is the acceptable way of behaving in a community, and the cultural practices, I said, mean different things we do according to our culture. Is that clear, class? Now, we need to look at the different cultural practices. So we are to have examples of cultural practices, and I request you to listen attentively. We get to know some of the examples of the cultural practices. But before I give you mine, I would like to hear from you. We've got very many examples of cultural practices, and just this is an opener. Let me give you one, and then you first share with me what you know. My number one, kneeling down to greet elders. Kneeling down to greet elders, just like you can see in the picture for today, okay? You can see that women are kneeling down to greet elders. Are we together? And if you can see very well, I believe you can identify some of the people who are within this picture. So before I give you number two, I would like to hear from some of you. May you put up your arm and you tell us some of the examples of cultural practices that you know. The other time was Pendo, that was a girl. Let's hear from Philip. Philip John, I request you unmute your microphone and talk to us. Tell us some examples of cultural practices. Yes, John? Philip John?
Greeting.
Oh, thank you. Greeting. Yeah.
Teacher,
Yes,
right?
please.
We right?
No, please, don't write. Don't write. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Greeting has been talked about, and it's our number one here, kneeling down to greet elders. Okay. Then another person, first tell us. Let me hear from another person. Let me see. Let's hear from Hadija. Hadija.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, tell us, give us another example of cultural practices.
Dancing.
I beg your pardon?
Dancing.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, we've got dancing. Okay, We shall look at it in future. That's good. Yeah, another person, let me see. Jeremiah, unmute yourself. Then you talk to us. Jeremiah Nahabwe, I can see your arm up. Unmute yourself. Then you give us one example of cultural practice, you know.
Checking the wrists when dancing.
Jeremiah, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, give us one example of cultural practice that you know.
Checking the wrists when dancing.
Okay, thank you so much. Shaking the waist when dancing. Okay, yeah, dancing is another example of cultural practice. Okay, now let's continue with our work. As I have got a few from you, I know now you are following the lesson. So number one was kneeling down to greet elders. Then number two, we have hugging when greeting. As you can see in the picture, in some tribes, they hug when greeting. Okay, it's another example of cultural practice. Get note of this. I know we are not going to write, but it's better we first get to understand. Okay, then later we shall write, and possibly when answering some questions that I shall give towards the end. Let's get number three. Number three, we've got some people pray while kneeling down. As you can see that girl, some people pray while kneeling down. Then number four, we look at our brothers, Muslims, okay, and sisters. Muslims pray while prostrating, okay? The word prostrating means lying on the ground, or you stretch on the ground with your face down, okay? As you can see, the Muslims, when praying, the word we use is prostrating. Then for Christians, some of them kneel down. Another example of cultural practices, let's look at cooking. Some people cook food by steaming, as you can see in the picture below. Some people cook food by steaming. Steaming means you get the banana leaves and you cover on your food when put in the saucepan. So that is steaming. It's a way of cooking food. Then on this side, on the right side, which is number 6, we are seeing that some people mingle food. For example, posho, we've got millet and other foods, okay? You just have to mingle. These are all cultural practices. Then let's look at another set of examples. We can talk of marriage. Some people get married in church, as you can see our number 7. Some people get married in the church, okay? Then number 8, we are seeing that some people make customary marriage. Some people make customary marriage. So with the customary marriage, this is what we know as introduction, okay? The husband together with a wife, they sit down and they plan how to go and meet the parents. So they come up with a proper arrangement. The parents get ready, and an introduction ceremony is done home. So that is what we am calling here customary marriage. While church marriage, there we know it as wedding, okay? And in most cases, we do the two. We first go to meet the parents, we do our introduction, and after introduction, we go to the church for wedding, okay? So these are all cultural practices. Are we together? Next, we can look at some people dance while jumping. Some of you gave me your answers when I asked to mention some examples of cultural practices. You talked about dancing. So here we are now. Number 9, we see some people dancing while jumping, okay? Not every tribe in Uganda does so, but some tribes in Uganda, according to their culture, that is how they dance. Then when we get to number 10, we see that some people dance while sliding. Sliding goes with the shaking your waist, you know. So as we can see, and this is mostly within central here and some part of eastern Uganda, the Basoga, then here Baganda, they have different dances and they dance while sliding, shaking the waist, and a lot is done. I think this is not something new. We've been seeing how it's done, okay? So there we are. Now, members, here we've got some examples of cultural practices. So I want to take away to remove this, and then we look at something new, okay? Remember, we are going to do assignment, which is going to be sent onto the Google Classroom. I request when that time comes, you do the work and send it back to me for marking. So let's continue. Let's continue. I remove the curtain and we look at something which is new, and that's cultural foods. Okay, cultural foods. Are we there? So different tribes in Uganda have different cultural foods. Okay, different tribes in Uganda have different cultural foods, and here are some of the examples of those different cultural foods. In northern Uganda, we have different tribes, but some of them, their cultural food is millet, okay? So there in the picture, we can see a millet when it's still in the garden. That's how it looks like. Then after harvesting it and of course grinding, we get the flour, which we can mingle in the same way we mingle posho, then get served. So that's one of the cultural foods of our brothers and sisters in northern Uganda. Then I'm not saying that this is the only one. There are others, but I've just brought up only one example. Then we have Western Uganda, Western and Central Uganda. Western, I mean now, I mean the Banyankole, the Bachiga. We have very many tribes there. Then in Central here, we have the Baganda and other tribes. So here, the culture food mostly is matoke within these regions of Uganda, mostly matoke. I can see Nicoletta, you are putting up your arm, and Asimwe, fine, time will come, I hear from you. Let me first finish explaining here, then I get back to you and hear from you. So let's first finish this part only. All right. Yeah. So I was saying with the Western and Central Uganda, the culture food is matoke, as you can see in the picture. Then when we cross to Eastern Uganda, where we've got Vasoga, there, one of the culture foods is sweet potatoes, as you can see in the picture. However, we have other tribes like the Bagisu, where you will hear them talking about Malewa, that is their culture source. So I'm bringing this to let you know that what I have given you here is not the only culture food we have in those areas, but this is an example of some of them. So now I think we can share experience. I need to hear from some of you. You tell us, I may need to know some of the culture foods from some of you according to your tribes. And then in case you have any question before we continue, I would love to reply to it. So now we are going to share more. You may put up your arm. You may put up your arm. I would like to hear from you. Yes, peace. Peace. May you unmute and I hear from you. Peace. Okay, now you can unmute. I would like to hear from you. Peace. Mwanguzi, are you there? I have asked you to unmute. Okay, let's hear from Abigail. Abigail. Hello, may I hear from you?
Irish.
Oh, thank you so much. Abigail, from which region of Uganda are you?
Western.
Western.
Oh, thank you so much. Abigail is in Western, and their culture food, she has told us, is Irish. Yeah, in Western, I know, covered that side, okay, where we have the Vachiga, they grow more of Irish, okay, that's very good. Let me hear from another person. This time, a boy, let me see. Joshua, I can see we've got Joshua here. Yes, Wani Joshua. unmute yourself. I need to hear from you. I can see your arm up.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, I can see your arm.
We are in this.
I beg your pardon? Joshua.
We're in the
Yes.
room.
Oh, I can't hear you well.
We're in the central bar. The central.
You are in the central? Joshua. Joshua, are you in the western? Oh, it seems I've lost Joshua. Please try to unmute, then I get your point clearly. Okay. Let me hear from
We're in the central.
oh, thank you. You are in the central. And what's your culture food in the central?
Millet.
Millet? Ah, okay. That's great.
Matoke.
And matoke, thank you. I have talked about them. Let me hear from Sarah. Sarah, may you unmute yourself? Sarah?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, I would like to hear from you.
My culture food.
I am a Nigerian.
Oh, you are a Nigerian. That's good. That's good to join us. Now, in Nigeria, what's your culture food?
Fufu.
It's fufu?
Yes,
Yes.
Ah, wow, that's great. I have never eaten fufu. What makes up fufu? Do we have some of the things we can use to make fufu? Is it made out of flour? Briefly tell us about fufu.
Cassava.
Oh, thank you. It's made out of cassava. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Yeah. Let's hear from another person. Thank you, Sarah. We've got Mwebaza. Mwebaza, kindly unmute yourself and I hear from you. You tell us the region and your culture food. Mwebaza. Joshia Mwebaza. Yes, Mwebaza.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. In which region of Uganda are you? Are you in northern Uganda? Are you in central in Uganda? Are you in western or in eastern?
Northern.
Oh, northern. Good. What's your staple food? What's your culture food in northern?
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, members, as I told you that different tribes in Uganda have got different culture foods. and I gave only one example from each region, but as you can hear from members out there, we have other examples of staple or of cultural foods. Sometimes we use the word staple, okay? Staple food. So now, I want us to first close this part where we are sharing where we've been hearing from other people. Let me see in the reactions here if there is any concern. Someone was asking which class is this? This is primary 2 literacy. Yeah, literacy 2. So as I said, we shall have work put activity is going to be put on Google Class. And we have the WhatsApp link there for P2 group. For those who are not yet on our platform, tap and join, tap that link given there. Then there is another link for Google Classroom is also put there. So you can join us. That's where I'm going to put the activity, and then I expect you to answer and send back for marking. So let's get to the work. Again, I'm going to share.
Hey, Teacher Joel, are you sharing the screen?
I'm going to share now.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to share. Okay, members, this is where we ended. Okay. This is where we ended. So we need now to continue. Previously, we looked at examples of cultural practices, and then we looked at cultural foods. So I'm going to give activity because we are left with around 12 minutes to end this lesson. And now I want you to open up your books, and we attend to these questions, okay? So we look at examples of cultural practices. Now in activity 1, I want you to recall and write for me only 4 of the 10 that we mentioned, the 10 examples of cultural practices we looked at. May you please write 4, okay? Mention any 4 cultural practices you know. Then number 2, why do Uganda women kneel when greeting? Why do Uganda women kneel when greeting?
So I had written something here about the teachers entering data for teachers e-learning trainings. I personally, I haven't yet started on any. Why? Because I think we need more guidance from Dennis, because when I look at the dates,
The activity is back.
They're different, yes, but when
we can now write. That's number 2. You tell us, why do Baganda women kneel when greeting? Then number 3, 4, and 5 are also there. So I request you write the work, and then I shall receive it on our Google Classroom for primary 2. Number 3 says, dash is the cultural food for some tribes in northern Uganda. Okay, dash is the cultural food for some tribes in northern Uganda. Then number 5, what is the cultural food for Baganda? Last question, that's number 6. Draw a picture of Amsoga girl greeting her father. So let's attempt those 6 questions. Then at exactly 10, we shall stop. Benjamin, you wanted the number for the WhatsApp group. It's already in the chat. You can as well get it. Then for those ones who are not having Google Classroom on their phones or your computer, of course, some members might have joined us today. So please, you can download it from Google. Don't forget that. Make sure you join Google Classroom because that's where our assignments are put, the activity you are writing here. I would love to mark it. So make sure you get connected, you download Google Classroom and join Pito class. The link has been given. So use that link to join Google Classroom. And then we have even the link for WhatsApp group as P2, okay? So make sure you join it and you send your work there. We are left with almost 6 minutes to end our lesson. So let's get prepared. Let's do the work quickly. Yeah, now I'm going to attend some of you who have raised your hands. I need to hear from you. I can see there is Ayebale Daniela. Ayebale Daniela. Oh. Yes, Ayebale Daniela, may you unmute? I need to hear from you. Daniela.
Yes.
I can see your arm has been up. Have you finished work? Daniela,
Yeah.
have you finished work? Oh, I can't hear her. Okay, let me get someone else here. Opio. Yes, Opio. Jeremiah Opio. May you unmute and talk to me?
Yes. Yes, teacher.
Yes, I can see your arm is up. Have you finished work?
Not yet, teacher. I'm about.
Oh, it's all right. All right. There is Jeremiah Nahabwe. I can see your arm is up. Jeremiah, your hand is up.
Yes, teacher.
Have you finished work?
I'm near.
All right, thank you. Angel.
4 minutes, that thing is going away.
Angel, may you unmute and talk to me? Angel Watabala. Yes, Angel, have you finished?
How do we find work on Google Classroom?
Okay, okay. So right, thank you for that good question. I'm going to tell you how you can send work on Google Classroom. I'm going to answer you soon. Then let me hear from other people. Kawenja Joseph, unmute and I get your concern. Yes, Joseph?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, I can see your hand is up. Have you finished work? Joseph? I mean, yes. Oh, it's like I've lost him. Let me hear from Nacho. Okay, okay. Oh, Kale, it's okay. If you have a few minutes, finish up quickly. Now, let me hear from Nachom. Nachom Divine Michelle.
Yes. See, dash is now write it here.
I have finished.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Do you know how to use Google Classroom to send in your work?
No.
Okay. What do you use? A laptop, a phone?
Yes.
Which one exactly? A smartphone or laptop?
Yes. Laptop.
Okay. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to show you how we can send in our work on Google Classroom. Let me hear a few comments. Our time is over. Time for our lesson is almost done. So, Kamugisha, let me hear from Kamugisha. Unmute. Yes, Kamugisha. tap on your screen, unmute and talk to me. Yes, Kamgisha. Oh, let me hear from Natural. Natural Stella. Unmute and talk to me. Yes, please. Natural. Have you finished work?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, our time is over. So finish quickly. I'm giving you like 3 minutes to finish. Okay, thank you. Members, now I want to tell you how you can get, how you can submit your work on Google Classroom. So, once you are still writing the work, first finish your work. Now, I'm going to request my admin is going to show us how we can submit the work. But of course, I'm going to send it on Google Classroom and you shall get an email. So when you get the email, you will have to get to work, okay? So I'm going to request my admin will be showing us how we are going to do it. But once you get to the class, of course, you will have to go to classwork. Then you tap or you touch onto the assignment given. And then when it opens, you will open the work. And after opening it, down there, you will see your work, okay? So at the extreme end down. So for you, you just have to go to add work. And when you tap there, of course, you are writing in your books. So since you are writing in the books, you are going to use a scanner. You are going to use a scanner, don't use camera, just use scanner. It works like a camera, but it brings out the work clearly. So you will scan your work, you add all the pages. If it's 2 pages, add and then send them as one file. I shall receive the work here, okay? So that's briefly what we are going to do. I have not shared my screen on this simply because some of you are still writing, okay? But if you have Google Classroom on your phone, your smartphone, yeah, I was still explaining that if you've got Google Classroom on your smartphone or on your computer, you'll just have to go there, get to work. Don't go to stream, but work. Then you get to the assignment sent. That will be the activity. Then after opening it, get to add work. You get to scanner and scan your work. If you have 2 pages, add the second page. Then after scanning the work, you will have to you click the tick, okay? There is X and the tick. Then after there, it will get saved as PDF, okay? So you say save as PDF. Then after saving, it uploads automatically. So for you, you will just say turn in. You get to turn in and I shall receive the work, okay? So after marking, I shall send you back the feedback and my comments. Otherwise, we are out of time. I beg, I'm going to stop the lesson. It's already 7 minutes past. So I want to stop, first of all, sharing my screen. Possibly if there is any parent, that would like to hear or to share something with us, you can as well share still. I need to hear from a few parents, and in case you have any questions, my number has been down on the footnote. You can as well get to me. You can get to me. You inbox me or you call me. I shall, of course, get to you. So thank you for being good learners. My name once again, Teacher Joel Maluma, and those are the numbers you can see on the screen. So feel free to call and ask anything that wasn't clear. You are free to call. Otherwise, time is over. I would like to hear from a few parents who are there. Oh, I can't tell now who exactly, so that I give you permission. Those are my numbers, and I want to hear from the parents. I think, anyway, since time is over, we can as well stop here.
Teacher.
Yes.
Teacher.
Yes, please.
I have not yet read the number.
I beg your pardon?
The number.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Thank you, please, for being good pupils. Someone was talking to me, a parent.
Some question.
Yes, Natalie.
Natalie Gabi. This is the mother for Natalie Gabriela.
Yes, please. Try to speak up.
Yes. So I'm asking, is there, in case I may fail to scan everything,
In case?
In case I may not be able to scan Gabriela's work,
Can
I collect all the books and send them to the school to be marked?
Oh, your volume is indeed very low, but if I have tried to get your question.
I'm asking.
Yes, please.
Is there an option of me collecting the child's work and bringing it to school or sending it to school so that it can be reviewed?
Oh, now with that one, the best way would be using Google Classroom, or at least our WhatsApp group link for primary 2, because we are in different places, of which traveling just to bring work might be difficult for you. But if you could just scan this work and send it to us either via Google Classroom or WhatsApp link for primary 2, I think would be the best.
Can you please add us on that class to the WhatsApp for the
Oh,
primary.
okay. Now, let me write the name of the child. Who is that one?
She's called Nantale Gabriela
Oh.
Samantha.
Oh, Nantale. And then your telephone number?
Then he has gone off.
I'm still on. Your telephone number? 07? Oh, I've lost you. I can't hear you. Now, we've shared the WhatsApp group link in the chat and Google Classroom, of which you can join. However, you can read to me your number here, and I join you there. I add you. Nantale, I've lost you. Let me check another person here. Let's see. Mami Nantale, are you still on? Okay, let me hear from Purity. Yes, Purity, unmute. As the parent of Melindwa Gordon gets ready. Purity. Purity, I can't hear from you. Oh, okay, let me hear from Abigail. If you're a parent of Abigail, talk to me.
Yes, I can. Okay, yes.
Yes, Abigail. Abigail?
Okay, yeah.
Do you have something to share with me? I can see your hand is up.
Teacher,
Yes, please.
which class is this?
We've been in primary 2, learning literacy 2, but time for learning is over. Thank you.
Teacher,
Yes.
thank you for this.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you too. Let me hear from another person. Attending to parents with the concern. Rachel Lucky, please talk to me.
Teacher, good morning.
Good morning to you.
We are new here on this Edify e-learning. We would like to have a timetable for P4 and Senior 2. How can we get it?
Okay, timetable. All right. I'm going to see how to avail it. Yes,
Mr.
please.
Maluma, let me try to answer that.
Okay, thank you.
Rachel Lake, we are using the same timetable you are using for P2 class. You just go and look exactly your interested class. You will see how the lessons are running. We are using a general timetable with all classes stipulated there and their respective classes. So if you're in the WhatsApp from baby class to senior 5.
The time, I mean.
Even the time is there.
From this, I just got it. Maybe if I can get the WhatsApp group and I see.
Okay, so could you maybe, can I share with you the WhatsApp link or you just send your number?
Yes, you can send me the WhatsApp link.
Okay, let me just post the WhatsApp link here in the chat. You go in the chat. I'm posting it right now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, teacher.
Welcome. Let me hear from Godwin Bossa. If you're a parent and you have a concern, unmute.
Hello.
Hello.
Can we also join the WhatsApp group?
Yes, please. Check in the chat. We have the link sent there. Use that link to
Okay,
join.
thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. I've seen it.
Okay, thank you. Then mute. You mute. Jane Chomukama, you have something to say? Unmute. Yes, the parent of Jane Chomukama.
I think the parents are over. We can have a closing prayer and then we stop the class. Thank you.
Oh, welcome. Thank you too. We still have for the three members here. One person is going to lead us in the closing prayer. Please put up your hand and lead us in the closing prayer. I want to see who is this one. Feli and Felix. Yes. Any of you, please lead us in the closing prayer.
Felix.
Okay, thank you, Felix. May you lead us in the closing prayer?
Let's close our eyes and pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, I love you, your name, your kingdom as in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Don't lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Felix, for leading us into this closing prayer. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Members, we are done. Time for lesson is over. Thank you so much. Let's meet once again in our next lesson.